Western Conference, and now looking to continue this dominant run that they have been on for a decade. Cassidy Pickering, who we talked about, will lead it off. 3 for 3 yesterday. A couple of home runs, including a grand slam. And this starting lineup presented by Capital One. Really not a lot of surprises in either team's lineup here today. And we're going to see Miranda DeNava in the circle for Cal. She got the start in the game last night, the victory over Omaha to keep the season alive.
Yeah, Miranda DeNava last night, I mean, she just really led in the circle. And that has been the question for Cal is, can they get it done in the circle? And so just the performance that she was able to put up yesterday of just really keeping the Omaha hitters off balance and just doing her job, Cal has a real shot.
Despite some weather concerns here today, another really good-looking crowd here at Love's Field. We're ready to go. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. Off speed to Cassidy Pickering, who led off the game with a home run yesterday. What a sophomore year for the 5'9" left fielder. The 0-1 pitch. And that's just outside. The home plate umpire is Cameron Ellis, and he's also the crew chief. Look at these numbers. 414, 16 homers, 51 runs batted in. That average, a team high.
What stands out to me with Cassidy Pickering is just she's so quiet. She's so solid. I mean, just that take right there, that low rise, just not even budging, and just very quiet hitter.
Slugging .848 on the year. And there's another strike. Count is even. As Miranda DeNava tends to take her time. Likes to walk back behind the pitcher's rubber as you look at her scouting report.
Yeah, she mostly works up. You see that low rise she's been working. She'll go with that low and that high rise.
Flick down the line, and that's extra bases. Kaylee Pond tracks it down in the corner, gets it in quickly, but standing up with a leadoff double is Pickering as she continues this torrid streak she's been on.
And again, just so solid. I mean, she has little to no movement. This ball is a little bit off the plate, but she's just able to stay compact, not doing too much. It's on time, stand-up double.
Fourth hit of the regional for Pickering. And now Ella Parker, the designated player again today, and DeNava starts her with an off-speed strike. 1 for 6 in the regional with an RBI. The sophomore from Los Angeles. Back-to-back amazing seasons. Hit .417 last year as a freshman. Over 400 again this year with great power numbers. 11 homers and 45 runs batted in.
Yeah, they seem like video game numbers. They don't even seem real, right? But another professional hitter, just Parker, Pickering, back-to-back. So similar in approach. Just both professional hitters.
Popped up. Nyland Marshall and foul ground, sticks with it. Back to the infield, made a beautiful catch for the first out. Defense for Cal, as you have touched on, Natasha, has been a concern, but that's a beautiful play.
This is a big play, and Nyland Marshall, just this ball is carrying, but her to be able to track it, still make that play. But if you notice, both Akasha and her shortstop go out to get that ball, but the big heads-up play is DeNava going to cover third.
Yeah, so they keep Pickering at second base. 1 out for Sydney Barker. Another bat that has been red hot. And the freshman behind in the count, 1 strike. As DeNava is starting everybody off speed. Barker, freshman out of Rockland, California, 3 for 4 in the regional. 2 for 3 Friday, 1 for 1 with an RBI yesterday against Cal. And the biggest thing, Natasha, for Patty Gasso has been in recent weeks trying to find a way to keep Sydney Barker's bat in the lineup.
Yeah, she's just been hot as of late and just had her start on Friday night at first base, trying to get her some ABs, but she's just doing everything, saying, hey, coach, you got to keep me in your lineup.
Popped up. Chased it high in the zone, and that's an easy play for Mia Phillips for the second out. So Miranda Donava bearing strikes. Now they've got Pickering hung up. Tag on. And Cal will get off the field facing the minimum in the first inning. A base running error by Cassidy Pickering. And Oklahoma, despite the leadoff double, is going to come up empty here in the first.
And just a big heads-up play by Cal. You see Donava is out of the pitching circle, so Pickering tries to pick up on that, but doesn't get past Cal. Third out to end the inning.
The Capital One starting lineup for the Golden Bears. Elon Butler, Mika Lee, and Acacia Anders have been in that top 3 spots most of the season.
Yeah, and that's going to be key, is the top 3, Elon Butler, Mika Lee, Acacia Anders. Anders was hot last night, but throughout the tournament they have all sprinkled hits, but it's going to be important for them to have those combined hits.
No surprise, Sam Landry, the starting pitcher for the 3rd day in a row for Oklahoma. 84 career wins. That's most among active players in Division I. The transfer from Louisiana, the 2025 SEC Newcomer of the Year.
Sam Landry, she's just gone above and beyond this season. She's just been a pitcher who has retooled herself, and her commitment to growth has been a big part of her success. She's always been comfortable changing speeds. Her changeup is her bread and her butter, but her drop ball, her changeup, her rise ball, just the unpredictable, her being unpredictable with her pitches is what's been the difference.
Picked up her 21st win of the season yesterday. She's only thrown 96 pitches before this game today, so pretty much well rested, ready to go. As again, 2 5-inning games for Oklahoma so far. Elon Butler 3 for 8 in the regional. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike, and it's 2-2 to the second team All-American from a year ago, the junior from San Jose, Elon Butler. And what a year for her. 366, 10 homers, and 37 RBIs. Two off-speed pitch, roller to short. Gabby Garcia throws across for the first out. And keeping Elon Butler off the bases will be key for Oklahoma in this one.
Yeah, and she's able to do that with that changeup. You saw first pitch, she was swinging, she's being aggressive, and so Landry mixing speeds, throwing that changeup often. It's going to be key.
Elon Butler, one of their top base stealers in the ACC this year, but she's an out. And now Mika Lee comes up, the center fielder. And she's fooled on that offering from Landry. Senior from Redlands, California, 3 for 9 here in Norman. Has been a regular in the Bears lineup for 3 years. Battling through some injuries right now, including a shoulder problem. And she's fooled again, 0-2.
Yeah, and what makes Mika Lee so great is her versatility. She's able to run through the box. She's got speed. She can hit for power. But facing someone like Landry, she should start running through the box, trying to mix it up as well. She's trying to mess up her timing.
Struck her out. So the top hitter on the Cal Bears fooled on 3 pitches by Sam Landry. 2 down.
All 3 pitches, changeups, and that's just how confident Sam Landry is in that changeup, and that is huge for out number 2.
This is shortstop Acacia Anders. And that rides in and hit her. Off the hand. Anders shaking it off as she runs down to first base. You know, we saw Sam Landry give up a few free passes yesterday, whether it be a hit batter or a walk, but generally she is pretty controlled. Very
controlled and very uncharacteristic for the ball to get away from her, but that's her rise in, just trying to back Anders off the plate, and that runs up and in and gets her.
Cal got to her for 7 hits in those 4 innings, but they were scattered about. And now she has to deal to Tiana Bell with a runner on. Bell, the 5'5" first baseman, 2 for 10 here in Norman. And an RBI infield single, the game-winning hit in that 1-0 victory over Omaha on Friday. Tons of power, 7th in the ACC in home runs with 15 on the year. Crowd trying to get behind Sam Landry. Here's the 0-2. Didn't chase it high. Good discipline there by Bell.
And I think this is a good time to send Anders. She has decent speed, but hey, why not? You know, if she gets out, you still come back up in the next inning with Bell. If not, you have her in scoring position.
Foul back. Sam Landry was the ace of the Ragin' Cajun staff under Jerry Glasgow. Of course, Glasgow now the head coach at Texas Tech. And she has flourished here in new surroundings in Norman in 2025. The 1-2. Chased it down and away, struck out. Tiana Bell will sit down, and the inning is over.
And Landry is just on fire. Relentless with this changeup. Big out for number 3. And made a huge impact on the Sooner offense.
That 2-run homer yesterday, her only hit of the regional, but she is one of the best freshman players in the country. Second team All-SEC from Chandler, Arizona. And this is bunted at and popped up off the mesh. Good effort there by Longi Quiroga to go after it.
And good idea by Gabby Garcia just to mix things up. She also has a little bit of speed, and so just trying to make some things happen. She obviously has that power, but just so much versatility.
You played with Gabby's mom, Kara Brunner, Hall of Fame pitcher at Arizona State.
She was a shortstop, and like so similar to Gabby Garcia. Like they had the same mannerisms, the way that they move and how they just play the game and approach. Kara Brunner was really intense, and I feel like Gabby Garcia is the same, and just gamers.
SEC all-defensive team. 17 home runs after that one yesterday.
That's that low rise. Donava keeps finding that. That's key. So for the Sooner batters, they're just going to have to differentiate that low rise and high rise.
Garcia to be followed by McEnroe, Marinas, and Sanders. Cassidy Pickering led off the first inning with a double, but Oklahoma wasn't able to get her in, and then kind of a weird play to end the inning. She was trying to steal a base and ended up getting thrown out at second trying to get back, and this is hammered to center. Gabby Garcia's done it again into the batter's eye. One nothing Oklahoma.
So good. So good. I mean, if you take a look at where this pitch is, it's really elevated. This is high, but her ability to go up and get it, and I talked about the Sooners are going to have to be able to differentiate that low rise and high rise. But if you have that high rise and you're able to go up and attack and get it and hit it like this is some good stuff.
107 homers on the year now for Oklahoma. They're 5th as a team here in the regional. In comparison, Cal has 4, and they played more games. This is Nellie McEnroe Marinas, a redshirt freshman, but she is a captain as voted on by her teammates. A lot of respect shown from this roster to this young player at third base.
Yeah, and just the fact that her teammates voted her to be captain, it speaks volumes about how much leadership she possesses. And just when you watch her, she's constantly talking, pumping up her teammates. Burst out the dugout.
She's from Hawaii. 1 for 5 in the regional, has a couple of runs batted in. 20 multi-hit games. So both innings, Oklahoma's had a hit from the leadoff hitter. A double by Pickering and a leadoff homer here in the second. And Gabby Garcia. That home run, by the way, went 254 feet to the top of that beautiful batter's eye.
Yeah, that was a no-doubter.
Full count, base hit into left field. That pitch was up in the zone, and McEnroe Marinas jumped on that one too.
And just this is that high rise again. And what Denava has to be careful with is if she's going to throw that high rise, she's almost got to zip it through the zone, and it's got to be unhittable. And these are hanging a little bit, and the Sooners are able to capitalize and get a bat to it.
Jen Deering, the Cal pitching coach, makes a quick appearance. Anna Reimers is now starting to loosen up in the Cal bullpen.
And a pitcher like Denava that throws a lot of rise balls, facing a lineup like the Sooners, it's tough. You know that some are going to leave the field, and that's the risk that you take when you're throwing that low and that high rise. And so important for her to start to mix in that changeup even more. Try to do some more ground balls.
Miranda Denava pitched last night, 7 innings, 3 hits in that shutout of Omaha to keep the season alive. Is fatigue a factor here today for Cal, because they were here till almost midnight last night?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, obviously these are the moments that you play for, and you just have to be ready. But I do think that plays a factor. We were here until 11:30 last night, and a quick turnaround this morning. And so you start to feel that fatigue as an athlete, but it's that mental toughness that needs to kick in.
Soft ground ball, and it's actually going to be ruled foul at home plate. Sydney Sanders getting the start at first base again for Oklahoma. 301, 11 homers, 33 runs batted in for the veteran from San Marcos, California. She has 55 career home runs, and the only returning senior from last year's title team. She's a cool customer.
Cool, calm, collected, chill, like nothing phases her.
It's outside 2-2. With those sunglasses, she looks like a motorcycle cop.
Just cool, like, hey, I came here to play, and what do we need to do today?
Team just loves her leadership. 2-2 pitch from Denava. That's high, and did she go? No. First base umpire is Vince Price. They appeal, and he says she did not.
Yeah, just take a look at her hands. Ooh, that's close.
Alana Agbayani on deck. Walked her. 2 on. And still nobody out for Oklahoma, and here comes Agbayani. Well, they'll miss a minute of the action on the 7 innings live show on the ESPN app. You see every game, every big moment on the road to the Women's College World Series, only on the ESPN networks. Matt Schick is hosting in studio. It's where you can digest the entire tournament in one space. She's Natasha Watley. I'm Clay Matvick here in Norman. Oklahoma already leading 1-0 after a leadoff homer by Garcia. A single by McEnroe Marinas. A walk to Sanders, and now here's Ilana Agbayani. BYU transfer. One for 3. A couple of sacrifices from her.
Yeah, and in
here
the
this weekend.
Yeah, and in the situation, no outs. I'm thinking the same thing. If you look at the defenders, they're playing in, the corners are in.
She's swinging away and lashes it foul. Agbayani hit .424 last year at BYU. And this is her first season in an Oklahoma uniform, and what a season it has been. Not the gaudy average that she had last year playing for the Cougars, but what a piece that she has been in filling a spot at second base and then in the middle of the batting order too.
She's a spark plug. I mean, in the 7-hole, I mean, she ideally could be your leadoff. She could be a leadoff anywhere in the country and just provide so much offense in the 7-hole. And she could do it all. I mean, like I said, she's got the speed, she's got the power. She's almost as if another leadoff in that 7-hole.
Well, here's Cal shopping for softballs again. We saw this quite a bit yesterday in the game against Oklahoma, then again late last night against Omaha. They were a little picky with the softballs that their pitchers were being issued. They made several changes. They get a change here, and Donava deals high.
And the Sooner fans were not having it. That became a little bit of a factor, but Cal just kept it cool and kept asking for balls that they needed.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Donava deals and misses outside. Another full count. So Miranda Donava, after walking 2 in the entire game yesterday against Omaha, has already walked 1, and now a full count to Agbayani with a good power hitter on deck in Isabella Emmerling in the 8-hole. This is smashed. Forget about it. Goodbye home run. A 3-run jack for Agbayani, her 4th of the year, and it's 4-0 Oklahoma.
And Agbayani just possesses power. She hits for average. And this is just coming from the 7-hole. There are no holes in this Sooner offense, and just a spectacular swing. This ball hangs over the heart of the plate. Agbayani able to get that bat head out and just drill into this thing. Off the bat, you knew that that was out of here. And a little momentum going for the Sooners. Sooners up 4-0.
Donava has been in 3 straight full counts, and Oklahoma has made her pay every single time. And now she misses here to Emmerling to start this at bat.
Well, you go back to when she started to fall behind with Sydney Sanders, and she had her in a good count, and then she had Agbayani 1-2, and Agbayani was able to work that to a full count. So she's just starting to throw a lot of pitches, just needing to settle in.
Isabella Emmerling has been terrific behind the plate all season for Oklahoma. The junior from California, 0 for 1 in the regional, but has an RBI, a couple of walks. Transfer from North Carolina. Big swing and a miss, 1 and 2. And a lot of new faces for Patty Gasso's team this year, but she has brought in some really good players out of the transfer portal.
Yeah, the transfer portal has been key. I mean, we talk about St. Landry, just the athletes that she's been able to mix in with her newcomers, her new faces. It's almost as if they don't even skip a beat. I mean, you felt like coming into the season that it was going to be a different tone or a different identity for the Sooners, but it's still that championship mindset. And they're still rolling.
Just saw that Bears bullpen. Now, Shanti McDade has also started to throw, and that's going to be a strikeout. First out of the inning as Donava gets Emmerling on the off-speed pitch. And that is her first strikeout today. So last season, Oklahoma, 59 wins. This year, first year in the SEC. Including postseason play, 47 wins, but even though the pitching numbers aren't as flashy, everything looks pretty good. It's just basically reload, and here we come again at you.
Haven't skipped a beat.
This is Abigail Dayton in the 9-hole. She's in center field today. Hannah Core started in center on Friday. Dayton 2 for 3 in the regional. And she is also a transfer from Utah, where she was the Pac-12 batting champ last year, hit .431. And even though her average has come down quite a bit, she has been a big part of this run. And this is hit the opposite way. Pond going back and makes a nice running catch in the corner. I'll tell you, Kaylee Pond has been inspiring all weekend for the Golden Bears.
Yeah, I just got the chills. Every time she makes these spectacular catches, it's just, it pumps me up. And this is just a big, huge catch. And she's just been all over the place, being able to cover so much ground. I mean, she is on it and just giving so much energy to the Cal Bears.
Pickering doubled and was picked off trying to steal third in the first inning. Her 2-homer day yesterday, the 10th time a Sooner has hit multi-homers in one game in a regional. And she was the last to do it last year here against Cleveland State. She has been special since coming on campus.
I mean, I feel like I've been watching her for 4 years, and I have to remind myself she's just a sophomore. Just her approach at the plate, solid. Pitch selection, there's not too many pitches that she gets fooled on.
Well, Dadava has labored here in the second inning. This will be pitch number 37 of the inning. And it misses wide, 2-2. Oklahoma piling it on here in the second inning. That misses, so now full count again. Dadava threw 92 pitches last night in that shutout 7-inning win over Omaha. And this will be number 50 in this game, and we're not out of the second inning yet. Swung on and missed, and Dadava pumps her fist, and finally Cal will be able to come to the dugout.
Keep the energy going.
So she'll lead it off. She is 3 for 8 in the regional. Had that home run off the foul pole in right yesterday against the Sooners. She's a 5th-year senior. I mean, she has been worth the price of admission. Sam Landry needed 14 pitches to get through the first. Hit a batter, but worked around that issue. And she'll face 5, 6, and 7 here in the second inning. Pond, Quiroga, and Herrera. Cal needing to win this game. Keep the season alive. Try to force a second game today. The Sooners win. They're on to the Super Regionals for the 18th time. And we've talked about this before. You know, how important home field advantage is, Natasha. And since 2005, regional hosts have advanced to the Super Regional 76% of the time. Chelsea Spencer knows that. She knows how hard it is to come in here and win or go anywhere on the road in the postseason and get an upset.
Yeah, just right now, I mean, I'm laughing because she's now switched to the first base coaching box and just trying to get something going because she knows just this environment and what it means to play in this crowd and, you know, not having everybody rooting for you, but they do have some experience. They played earlier match with Stanford and had that record crowd, so it was at Stanford's home, and so they're used to not having the crowd on their side, and so just trying to get something going for the team.
And there's Kylie Quico, who has moved from first base to third base. Cal assistant. There's a strike to Pond. Full count. Chopper to second. Akbayani makes it look so smooth. That's not an easy play, but she makes everything look routine.
I mean, just flawless and just so smooth. I mean, where she's positioned and the angle that she takes to this and still is able to get in front of this. Some second basemen may be able to field that off to the side and not get into the front of that. But just a stellar defender.
So Pond, after a long at bat, is retired, and that brings up Longi Quiroga, the catcher. Has had a pretty good regional at the plate, 2 for 8, a home run. That homer came last night against the Omaha Mavericks, the champions of the Summit League, who had their season come to an end last night after a 3rd straight trip to the national tournament. Quiroga, a sophomore from Los Angeles. Really good numbers. That OPS up over 1,000. Here's the 1-1 pitch. This is down. This is the homer from last night, late into the evening against Omaha, and that just cleared the wall. I don't know if she knew for sure that it was out. They confirmed that it was.
She's just such a big key to this offense. And so for her, she's been struggling as of late. Coming into the tournament, the first day she had 2 Ks, and we've seen her all over the lineup for the Cal Bears. And so last night, that was a confidence builder. You could visually see just like, thank you to the softball gods for allowing me to feel some type of power again. And so going to be key for her to get hot today as well.
That was one of the 3 homers for the Bears last night. That's off the glove of Emmerling. And so another full count. It is the 5th full count for Landry. And missed off the plate. Quiroga walks.
That's a good AB right there, and some solid eyes from Quiroga, and a walk is a win, especially in this situation. The Bears need some base runners.
So second base runner for Cal. They still are looking for their first hit as Alyssa Herrera stands in. Herrera, the designated player, 0 for 5 in the tournament. This is her first weekend back from a broken hand injury. She had not played since March the 7th before Friday's game. Good to go now. And she's chasing it now, 0-2, as Quiroga is back into the bag at first. I think she thought there was going to be a throw, and there wasn't.
Yeah, but just her dive back, I think just the dirt's not smooth, so she kind of got stuck. And she wasn't even that far to dive back. she wasn't even that far out.
Sam Landry's 1-2 pitch. It's down 2-2. Landry won 63 games in 3 years in Lafayette, Louisiana. It's all Sun Belt all 3 years for the Raging Cajuns. She has taken her game to another level here this year. It's off speed, misses outside, so that's 3 straight full counts for Landry.
Just throwing a lot of pitches and falling behind a little bit after she gets ahead. It's just figuring out that out pitch.
Three and 2 to Alyssa Herrera. Called strike 3. Late call there by home plate umpire Cameron Ellison, but he rings up Herrera for the second out. And that's the third strikeout for Sam.
And the third strikeout comes with her screw. She's been working up with that rise, but it's able to come right back down below the knees, that screwball.
Here's Mia Phillips now batting for the first time in this game. Freshman second baseman. Really tough player. Made the all-ACC freshman team.
Has been an impact player as a freshman.
Ground ball. Landry fields her position well, but throws it into the right field foul territory. Trying to score here is Quiroga. Play at the plate. Safe. And into third base is Phillips. Well, Sam Landry, one of the best fielding pitchers in the entire country, makes a mistake there that leads to the first Cal run.
And just take a look, and Landry just pops off the mound pretty quickly, and she barehands this, but this ball just gets away from her. She rushed it at the last minute. She had some time with the speed of Phillips, but just this dive by Quiroga at home, she gets in there with that hand, and this is a heads-up base running here.
We were talking with Patty Gasso about Sam Landry's ability to field her position, and she couldn't recall a pitcher in recent years better than Sam. But she tried to hurry there because she knew that Mia Phillips can fly.
Yeah, she's just really athletic. I mean, just the way that she jumps off the mound and the awareness to know that she has to go to barehand that, but just as she comes to throw the ball, that gets away from her.
So the first error of the game leads to a run, and now they're out there checking on Sam Landry. Is this more, above the shoulders thing here and just kind of a reset?
I think it's more of a reset and just making sure you're good and slow the game down a little bit, because you can feel at that last second she, started to speed up the game, and she had time with Phillips.
Jen Rocha, one of the best pitching coaches in the country. 13 years in Florida, won a couple of national titles there. Now in year 7 at Oklahoma, has 4 more national titles. She seems to always say the right things when she makes trips out to the circle. And has a knack, kind of a pitching whisperer.
The whole country just wants to get inside of her head, and they want to know exactly what is she teaching all of these pitchers, and being able to pull so much more out of them. But when we talked to Landry, one of the things that she talked about was deepening her mindset, and that's been one of the biggest transformations in moments like this. Just having runners on base seemed like failure to her, and so now just being able to work through that and focusing on next pitch. How can I be better next pitch?
So Phillips was given a single on that play, and the error to Landry leads to Quiroga's run. So Cal still looking for a hit that leaves the infield. A lot of 3-ball counts for Landry in this inning. She's been pitching from behind here in the second. 2 outs. Phillips at third. 3-1 pitch. There's a strike.
Good pitch. And that's a changeup, and just working from behind, and especially at this point in the Cal Bears lineup, the hitters you want to go right at, but she's able to work herself back.
Payoff pitch. Ground ball. Agbayani throws to first. Inning is over, but Cal is on the board. We have played 2. 4-1 Sooners. Number 10 national seed eliminated from the regional by Southeastern Louisiana. 5 national seeds playing a game 7 today. And Texas A&M, that was one of the shockers from yesterday, as Liberty beat them, and now Liberty in the driver's seat.
Yeah, just a lot of upsets. And I mean, we talk about it last few years, just all the parity that's throughout the country.
Ella Parker rams it up the middle for a base hit. Hit number 5 for Oklahoma. That leads off the 3rd inning.
Ella Parker, just a phenomenal hitter, and this pitch is on the outer half, but just her bat coverage of side to side of the plate, and that's on the middle outer half, still able to take that ball up the middle.
One of their best hitters, and she's really been pretty quiet here in the regional. Maybe a sign that she's starting to come back. It's her 2nd hit of the regional. And Sydney Barker bats now. You know, I say that the skies are glooming, and it'll get brighter for Sooners fans.
Yes,
if they win. Cal is hoping to force 2 today.
Right.
I want to qualify that.
Yep.
I don't have a dog in the fight.
Good clarification.
And here's Donava. You know, she's smiling and laughing. We saw that again last night. Just a quick chat there in the circle.
Just impressive as a freshman. Just keeps it really loose. We saw that last night. A lot of smiles, laughing at herself, laughing with her teammates, not playing too tight. Neat to see from a freshman.
Here's Sydney Barker. She has been in the DP role. She has played first. She has played short. She is in right field today. But it is her bat that keeps her in the lineup. Popped out to the 2nd baseman, Phillips, her first time up. Little number. Donava gets to it, throws to first for the out. It'll serve as a bit of a sacrifice as Parker is in scoring position now.
That was a changeup, and good play from Donava to just set her feet, get in front of that. It's a big play right there.
So that's a productive out as Jen Deering now comes out to the circle for another talk with Donava. Looks like they're going to make a pitching change here. They are. Donava is coming out. And Cal is bringing in Annabelle Temperson. We'll talk about her in a minute. Senior right-hander who only lasted an inning and a third against Oklahoma yesterday, gave up 5 runs.
And Temperson, she was great the first night out versus Omaha. But Coach Spencer talked about just the difficulty of knowing the timing of when to bring in pitchers, and sometimes she wants to make sure that she's one step ahead. And so the idea here is to give a new look, and Temperson is mostly down, changeups, so trying to induce more ground balls.
Big swing by Gabby Garcia. This is what Garcia did her last time up against Donava, and maybe that's why Spencer decided to make the change now.
Yep, and just matchups with hitters and just trying to disrupt some timing and mix and give different looks.
That was the 18th of the year for Gabby. Behind 0-2, and that's off the plate. Ella Parker led off the inning with a ringing single to center. Got into scoring position on the ground ball out by Barker, and that's when Chelsea Spencer decided to make the pitching change. Hit, right field, base knock. And Parker is going to stop there. She does not run well right now, dealing with shin splints. So they're going station to station with her. Runners at the corners, 1 out, and McEnroe Marinas will come up.
And Temperson doing her job, gets this ball down. This is a hard ground ball, but Nia Phillips just out of position on this ball. And Ella Parker, like you mentioned, going to probably hold her up, fighting injury.
3rd hit of the regional for Garcia. And now McEnroe Marinas. Singled and scored back in the last inning. Tepperson on 6-5 on the year. Veteran right-hander. Oh, there's the squeeze, and now look out. Runners in trouble, but a misplay by Quiroga. Ella Parker was hung out to dry, but Quiroga bobbled the ball.
So what happens on this is a squeeze play. But if you take a look at Marshall at third, she runs up. But what Marshall needs to do is get back to the bag, and what Quiroga wanted to do was toss the ball back to her. But if you're that defender, Marshall, you gotta be behind the runner to keep that space, because if you're in front of the runner, there's no one there to tag her.
We saw a couple of errors from Cal in the field on Friday night in the first game against Omaha. They didn't cost them, but they come into this game fielding 962.
Taking care of the ball, I mean, that's a misplay right there. That's an out. You have Ella Parker out to dry.
Another one just misses off the plate. Now it's even at 2-2 to Nellie McEnroe Marinas, the third baseman. Oklahoma scored 4 in the second. Couple of base hits here in the inning. Parker at third, Garcia at second base. 2-2 down the line, right to Marshall. She's coming home, and again they got Parker hung up, and she's tagged out. Play at second, throw is offline. So the Sooners are going to lose an out, but on the bases, things are going to stand pat. Runners at second and third.
There's just a lot of defense happening here, but Marshall, great job of creating that lane, getting that ball to home. But what Quiroga does is a good job of running all the way back, but just her feet not under her when she makes that throw to second base. But heads up play by Phillips by knocking that ball down, because if that ball gets past her, that's 2 runs scoring.
Now Cal just trying to get out of this inning unscathed as Sydney Sanders comes up, and that one hit the home plate umpire Cam Ellison, and he's going to need a minute.
Deep breaths. That looked like that hurt.
No words, just pictures.
Yeah, just yikes. Yikes. Just breathe.
Sydney Sanders at the plate here, and a big hand for Cameron Ellison, who has done a nice job in the field and behind the plate this weekend.
Yeah, we've had some big calls, a lot of calls, just the umpiring staff in general, just all of these in the moment plays that they've got to call, and they've done a great job.
He's the crew chief. Sydney Sanders had that game-winning bases clearing double to beat Texas in the Women's College World Series final last year. Looking to add to Oklahoma's lead. 2 outs here in the top of the third. The 1-1 pitch. Back up the middle. And off the glove, I think the pitcher Tepperson got a piece of it. Phillips is able to make the play for the third out. So Oklahoma leads 2 in the third. It's been dominant there over the last decade. 8 national titles, including 6 of the last 8.
Have been a powerhouse in the last 4 years. That's all you can think about is Oklahoma winning it.
Patty Gasso's thinking, you know, if I live to be 200 years old, I can fill up that entire right field padding with national championships.
She'd try to do it.
And they left a lot of room there for potential championships. But it's filling up fast the way it's going.
Yeah.
Here's Elon Butler, 0 for 1 today. Has a couple of doubles in the tournament. She has reached in 23 straight. This is the leadoff hitter in the Cal order. So second time around against Sam Landry. And, you know, it hasn't been all wine and roses for Landry through the first couple of innings. Hit a batter, walked a batter. Throwing error that she had that led to Cal's first run. And she's thrown a lot of pitches by her standard. She hasn't had complete command like we've come to know her to have.
Yeah, she's fallen behind a lot of the hitters, going deep into counts, a lot of 3-2 counts. Just not going right at hitters, working through the strike zone earlier.
2-2 to Butler. And you see it, she has reached safely in 23 in a row. And that's what you want from a leadoff hitter. And of course, her speed just amplifies that. Off-speed pitch, and she fights it off.
And Elon Butler has just been doing such a great job this season. One of the things that she worked on in the offseason was her mindset and just not being so hard on herself. And as a D1 athlete, you want to do all the things right, and has such a high standard for herself, but just has worked on mellowing out and just working on that mental game.
So that is the 5th full count now that Landry has had. And she walked her. Second walk, third free pass. And the leadoff hitter is on. Here comes Mika Lee.
And those walks are so valuable. I mean, those pump up your offense and give some momentum to the Bears. It's a good at-bat from Butler, of just having some good eyes.
Opportunity here for the Cal captain, Mika Lee. Their leading hitter at 383 on the season. But she struck out swinging against Landry her first time up. She has been a regular in the Bears lineup for a few years and helped this club make the transition to that rugged ACC. Bunts, pops it back, and it's going to get off the mesh.
This is a good time for Mika Lee to try to move her feet, run through the box, work on moving the runner. First time she was up, she struck out standing in. See her go and show bunt there.
Three hits in the regional for Lee. Off speed to first. They're going to get one. Sanders gobbles it up, steps on the bag. That serves as a sacrifice. Butler now at second base. One out for Anders.
And that works. Hitting behind the runner.
There's an art to that. You know, if you're going to make it out, make it be a productive out. Keisha Anders. Ooh, Elon Butler sprinted like she was headed to second, slams on the brakes, I should say third, and gets back to second. And now Emmerling wants to talk strategy with Butler out there at second base. Let's go back to yesterday. Keisha Anders, the two-out homer against Omaha in the first inning, proved to be the game-winning hit because it was a 4-0 shutout victory.
Yeah, just such clutch timing when that home run happened, and until then we hadn't really seen her provide a lot of offense, and she's been one of the go-tos for the Cal Bears.
4 for 9 in the regional. And has been solid at second base. It's been solid at shortstop. And pops this in the air, left field. Pickering has it. And they've got Butler way off the bag. And that's a double play. Huge base running mistake for the veteran Elon Butler.
And those are the differences. Just base running errors. This is a big out for the Sooners to stop the momentum of the Cal Bears. Big out number 3, the bottom of the third.
Was on that national title team in 2002. Has it in the hands of Annabelle Tepperson. Did not start this game, but she has been their ace here in recent weeks. She'll tell you that.
Yeah, she says she's our ace right now. And so I think just after the performance of Denava last night, just being able to know that you have 2 solid pitchers that you can go into the game today, just a little bit of confidence in the circle for the Bears coming into today.
Ilana Agbayani to lead it off, and she'll be followed by Isabella Emmerling and Abigail Dayton. 7, 8, and 9. A couple of home runs in this game for Oklahoma, including the 3-run homer by Agbayani in the second. And that's the difference in this game right now. Lifted, foul ground, Pond giving it a look and made a great effort again.
Thought she was going to get that.
Trying to make a Spider-Man-like play over there.
Climb up, scale up the netting. She almost had that. She found the fence. Good job. But just hit the net before she was able to get to it. That net's not there. I think she gets that.
But Agbayani can run. Base hit. So she hits one 230 feet her last time up. This time needs 15 feet for a base hit.
Just squares the bunt. Just the versatility. The ability to have options. You see her swinging it big and then dropping a bunt. Foot speed. Causes so much pressure on the defense.
And Cal is going to slow it down again before Emmerling hits. You see the Cal bullpen. There's the door to it, and that was Reimers, who was not holding the bat. We've seen her warming up a few times already today.
And the strategy today for the Bears is, hey, we're using our staff. We know to get through these big Sooner hitters, we're going to have to keep changing the tempo and changing the looks.
Reimers has thrown 72 pitches in this regional. Emmerling a strikeout victim against Denavo. And she's got a hitter's count here for sure. So is she looking? Is she taking all the way, or is she going to get the green light?
I would take all the way. It's got to be perfect. Haven't seen anything good in these first 3 pitches.
1 on, nobody out. The 3-0 pitch. Walked her. So that's the first walk allowed by Tepperson since coming on last inning. A bunt single and a walk. And that sets up the number 9 spot in the order, Abigail Dayton. We're going to run for Emmerling. This is Cheney Helton coming out again. We've seen her as a pinch runner from time to time the last few days.
Good speed and Helton. First base.
Abigail Dayton, a junior out of Riverside, California. You can see her numbers, just a couple of homers on the year, but one was in her first at bat as a Sooner. In the season opener against Cal State Northridge, the transfer from Utah immediately became beloved by the Sooner faithful. Come up your first time up and knock one out. Three-run lead for the Sooners, a chance to do more damage here in the 4th inning. Abigail Dayton, who won the batting title in a power conference last year with a .431 average, is the number 9 hitter.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I mean, this type of hitter in the 9 spot, and again, could be a leadoff, a 1-2 in any other lineup across the country.
On the hands and push foul. This Oklahoma team won its first 28 games of the season. They were the last unbeaten team in the country. Didn't lose until game 2 of the series at Missouri. That was on March 22nd. They had some ups and downs once conference play started. Lost 3 league series, but all in all, what a year. Back up the middle. Base hit. That's going to score 1. Agbayani comes in. Throw cut off. Into second is Dayton. To 1 Oklahoma.
And again, just talking about the production at the bottom of the lineup coming from Abigail Dayton. And this is just money, just hits it up the middle. But I almost thought that Mia Phillips was going to be able to get that, but she dives over it. But Abigail Dayton with an RBI.
Third hit of the regional for Dayton. And now back to the top of the order in Pickering. Pickering a double to start the game, but then struck out her second time up. And this was yesterday. And Tepperson gave up that home run, and then Reimers gave up that one. That was the grand slam. 6 RBI Saturday for Cassidy Pickering. Just another day at the office, and forget it. She has done it one more time.
Pickering, just effortless power. I mean, if you just look at her approach, so calm at the plate, but check out her swing. I mean, just gets to contact. Nothing to it. Super calm, cool, collected. And the Sooners are up 8-1.
RBIs in the last 2 days. And that's going to force a pitching change for Cal.
Yeah, just some incredible offense. I mean, just going back to Agbayani putting down that bunt, just making things happen at the bottom. Emmerling drawing the walk, and Abigail Dayton able to just single up the middle and keep this thing going.
Just 2/3 of an inning for Tepperson. Anna Reimers coming in. Well, the Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City, just up the road from Norman. May 29th, high noon Eastern time on ESPN. For more information, go to NCAA.com. Clay Matvick, Natasha Watley back here in Sooner Nation, where Cassidy Pickering has lit this place on fire again. A 3-run homer, knocking Annabelle Tepperson out of the game, and now here's Anna Reimers.
And Anna Reimers just spinning side to side. We've seen her before. And just a good little mix from Tepperson. Tepperson mostly kept that ball down and change up, and Reimers, you'll see her go to that screw, her curve, her rise.
Through 2 And her third innings against Oklahoma yesterday, gave up 6 runs, all of them earned, walked 4. And this is gone. Oh my. In the parking lot, Ella Parker.
Just so much power from Ella Parker. And I think she shocked herself with just how far this ball went. I mean, off the bat, this thing is out of here. And again, solid piece of hitting, but just effortless. They just got so compact swings. They're quiet, but possess so much power.
I have not seen a ball hit that hard, that far in a long time.
Yeah. Either have I.
And it's now 9-1, and Cal, who suffered a loss to Oklahoma via the 8-run rule yesterday, is in a similar circumstance here again today. Officially 281 feet. Ooh. And I think they're shortchanging her, to be honest.
Yeah. At least it's 300.
A ball and a strike to Barker, and now it's 2-1.
And you just think about the pitching staff for the Cal Bears. They're just working so hard, just trying to figure out exactly where you go at these hitters, and they're just so good from both sides of the plate. Even when you elevate the pitches and you split the zone, they're smashing those as well. And so just really hard for pitching staffs to try to figure out how to slow down this Sooner offense.
That was the 6th home run in the last 10 games for Parker. She is going to be an All-American. There are no holes in this lineup.
0. I mean, from top to bottom, so much power.
Two home runs in this inning. 4 in the game. 110 on the season now for Oklahoma. And this is going to be popped right field. Phillips, tough play, ball lands. Butler and Phillips collide in right field. And it looks like both are going to be okay, but it just is another thing here for Cal in this long 4th inning.
Right. And it's loud here. We've talked about this in other games of just the energy in this stadium. And so it's hard to hear one another. And so in these moments, you've got to be extra loud. Last night we heard Butler, and obviously not a lot of people in the stands for last night's game at 11 p.m. But in this moment, you got to know who takes priority in that situation. And Elon Butler, being the right fielder, takes priority and needs to be calling it loud, loud, loud.
They're going to give Barker a hit. And Tia Malloy is going to come up to bat now here in the 4th inning with still nobody out. This is her pinch hitter in Gabby Garcia's spot. Tia Malloy, a freshman, had an RBI in Friday's win. Kylie Cuico is out, not the pitching coach, but one of the top assistants for Chelsea Spencer. And she's also trying just to get a mental reset here for the infield for the pitcher.
Yeah, Coach Cuico, Coach Spencer calls her just a Swiss Army knife. She can handle all aspects of the game, helps with the pitching staff, helps with the defenders, helps with the hitters. But in this moment, just trying to calm down the defenders and, hey, just keep it simple. We just got to make plays so we can get out of this.
First at bat for Tia Malloy. Her dad was Super Bowl winner with the Patriots. Great defensive back in the NFL during his playing days. Lawyer Malloy. And, you know, you got 5 home runs that could just jump into the lineup at a moment's notice. The bench is so deep as well for the Sooners.
Yeah, so much depth. We talked about newcomers and Tia Malloy being a freshman as well and can supply some power numbers. Comes from an athletic family. We talked about it. And her sister, Kiki Malloy, played for Tennessee.
And it looks like Patty Gasso is going to use another pinch hitter next. Maya Bland in the Oklahoma on deck circle. You know, the last couple of days, she's had a real luxury of being able to have a big enough lead where she can do this.
And just giving these freshmen the opportunity to play at this stage and give them an idea of what postseason play is all about. She's starting to build for the future. And like you said, the luxury to be able to have these opportunities to get them chances.
Well, Reimers appears to be done. She just walked Malloy, and yet she's going to hand the pitch communicator back to Jen Deering. Here's our bracket. 9-1 Oklahoma appears ready to clinch a super regional berth for the 18th time in program history since the format was adopted in 2005. California facing elimination here after a 37-win campaign, barring something miraculous. We will not see a game 2 here in Norman today. It's been a while, too, since Cal has been to a super regional. 2012. That was also the last time they had been to the College World Series.
And, you know, Coach Spencer's still trying to harp that championship mindset of just trying to show her team environments like this and just trying to raise that level. And, yes, things not going their way, but I think what she's trying to instill in her athletes is letting them know you got to raise the bar and compete. And also they took a trip down the road to Hall of Fame Stadium after practice on Thursday and just trying to show her athletes the tradition and just what it means to be on that stage and play at the Women's College World Series.
This is the second trip to Norman in 3 years for Chelsea Spencer and the Cal Bears. They lost to the Sooners in the region final in 2023. And you know, there's still time here, but it doesn't look good for them to, you know, change that around and flip the script here. As Ashanti McDade comes in, she'll be the 4th pitcher for Cal today. And she'll face Maya Bland to start. Pinch hitter in the 5-hole. Another California native on this Oklahoma roster. There's a bunch. And trying to knock California out of the tournament. Bland has some power, good speed. She turns away from that fastball. 2-0. You know, we saw Patty Gasso bring in Corey Hicks to play catcher, a freshman, off the bench, and then of course walks it off against BU on Friday night with that home run and that game in 5 innings.
Just continuing to bring in her young athletes.
3-0. And Riley Zakay is on deck. Another pinch hitter, it appears, ready to come up. Also a freshman. There's a strike. And that's why Patty Gasso doesn't like winning in 5 innings, because during the regular season, you know, you lose innings where maybe you could get players like the freshmen, some of the underused players in from time to time. When they end quickly, can't do that. But she's trying to catch up here in the postseason when this game appears to be in hand.
Right. And again, I can't echo it enough of the fact that they just are able to experience postseason play.
(3-2) to Bland. Inside Walker. Base is loaded, and Sakay will get a chance. Freshman from Michigan. And you can tell the crowd appreciates some of these younger players getting a shot too. Big swing on that inside fastball. 1 strike to count.
And just opportunities to learn. They're not getting many opportunities in the regular season, and so trying to make their adjustments and get some feel.
There's a line drive base hit. 1 runner's going to score. As Barker crosses home plate, it's 10-1. Just her 4th at bat of the year. And now Sakay has an RBI single to her credit in the national tournament.
And able to do this in a 1-0 count. This pitch on the outer half, turns on it. And just so much power on the bench, 1 through 9. So much offense.
We saw Katie Lee McKay appear in the game against Boston University on Friday. Played some shortstop, and she is called on to pinch hit, and she is the 10th player to bat for the Sooners here in the 4th inning, as they have put up a 6 spot. They also put up 6 against Cal yesterday in that 11-2 win. So the 4th inning has been kind and cruel, depending on what team you're rooting for. Just got a piece of it to stay alive.
A little choke and poke there. McDade goes with that screw, and Lee McKay trying to go out and get that.
0-2. Katie Lee McKay at the plate. 1-2. This is the 2nd appearance of the regional for Ashanti McDade, but she only threw 2 pitches in her first appearance.
She's ahead in this count, and she's been working that screw, that rise.
And another good piece of hitting there to stay alive. And has just got a piece of that off-speed ball. We've already seen 1 grand slam for Oklahoma in this regional. It came from Cassidy Pickering yesterday. Hit it over the left center field wall. We'll see if one of these pinch hitters can do it. This is Katie Lee McKay. 1-2.
Just battling.
There you see Patty Gasso clapping. This is what she wants to see. This is school right now.
Right, and just building for the future.
And another pinch hitter, Corey Hicks on deck. Finally, the off-speed pitch fooled her. And McKay is the first out of the inning. But here comes Corey Hicks. She had a big moment on Friday. Sent the Sooner fans home happy.
And on Friday, she was able to get this home run in walk-off fashion. Picks a freshman and just possesses so much power off the bench.
Bases full of Sooners, and she's swinging right away. Fouls it off the mask of Quiroga. Run rule wins for Oklahoma this year. And we talked about Patty Gasso, not a fan of them because she likes to see a little adversity as a character building exercise from time to time. But yeah, here we are in the NCAA tournament. A win's a win. I don't think she really cares anymore.
Yeah, at this point in the season, you definitely don't care. And she's taken advantage of this, of just being able to, like you said, have that luxury of bringing in young athletes. And, you know, at this stage of the season, a win is a win. You want to win. But when you can get your kids more opportunities of what this feeling feels like to play in this atmosphere, it's a win.
Base hit, deep short, run scores. It's 11-1. Corey Hicks, her second hit of the tournament.
And Hicks just gets this off speed off the end of her bat, stays through it. Just shows you how strong she is to be able to stay through that. Anders doesn't have a play, just eats the play. RBI.
And now the sixth straight pinch hitter for Oklahoma will come to the plate. And this is Hannah Core. She has been a semi-regular for a couple of years for Oklahoma. So this is not a freshman. This is not someone who does not see the field very often. This is a very dangerous hitter.
Yeah, and as of late, we've been seeing more appearances from her, but usually a defensive specialist.
Hannah Core has battled some injuries throughout her career. Injured her ankle second game of the season, sent her back a few weeks. Ended up missing 16 games. But when she's out in the outfield, she's one of the best fielders in the country. The 0-1. Forget it. No. Caught at the wall. The way it came off the bat, it looked like that was a grand slam, but Pond puts it away. It's a sacrifice fly, 12-1. Crowd thought it was gone too.
Yeah, and off the bat, this looked like this was out of here, and just effortless swing, just how she's able to get under that, stay behind it. But Pond finds the fence, makes that out.
12-1. And Cal is going to change it up again in the circle. And they're bringing back Denava. We step aside. Here in the fourth inning, and it's now 12-1. They're going to face Cal's starter, Miranda Denava, coming back into the game.
And although she gave up the 4 runs back in the top of the second, you wonder if you keep her in, if she still keeps you in this game. But Cal's strategy today was to use the pitching staff.
And that's going to get away from Quiroga, the catcher, allowing the runners to advance. Zakate at third, Hicks to second. How's your scorebook looking?
I'm struggling over here.
I see that.
Hey, you know, in school, like, hey, don't look at my paper.
Looks like a road map over there. 2-1 to Cassidy Pickering, and what a tournament she has had. 5 hits in all, 9 runs batted in, 3 homers. Had a grand slam yesterday. What's impressive about her is how deep she lets the ball get. The home runs have been to the opposite field.
Opposite power. I mean, that shows real strength, and also just her discipline at the plate to not be too eager and to not be too far out in front.
And she's going to draw a walk here to load him up again. And the last time up, Ella Parker hit a ball that may not have landed yet.
I think it's still going.
Cal is the home team, so they still have 6 offensive outs. But this has gotten out of hand for the Golden Bears. They were 8-runned yesterday. It's 8 runs after 5. And Oklahoma has more than enough right now. And looking for more with Ella Parker. That big bat at the plate. 12 homers on the year now. It was loud. It was hit really hard. And it went almost 290 feet. Big swing on that 2-0. She had the green light.
I think it cleared the double-decker. Didn't it go over the double-decker?
I said it landed in the parking lot. I don't know if they actually park cars over there beyond. I don't think so. I think that's a walkway. There's concrete there for sure because we saw the ball bounce. Now 6 home runs in the last 10 games for Parker. High and deep, but again, not deep enough as Pond makes the catch. So Core and Parker almost leave the yard. Cal is finally able to get off the field. We're going to talk to Patty Gasso right after this break. It's 12-1 Sooners. And even though this is a team that might not be perfect by her standards yet, it looks like one that will contend for a national championship again, as Tiana Bell leads off for Cal here in the 4th inning with a base hit off the new pitcher.
Just so interesting when Coach Gasso says there's still things to work on, and you know, just her level of expectation, you know, in the 1st inning, Cassidy Pickering having that mix up at second, and just some things to shore up on. And I think that's what makes her teams great, is that high level of expectation.
You see Isabel Smith, 9 wins on the year. She has taken over for Sam Landry, who is in line for her 22nd win. Pinch runner for Cal. And Jalouse is over there. She has been a pinch runner from time to time throughout this regional. There's Kaylee Pond again. Pond is 0 for 1. Well, you know, Cal is not going to go quietly. Leadoff hit by Bell. Even though they're down 11, they'll try and make some noise here. Core stays in center field for Oklahoma. And Corey Hicks, who had that base hit and an RBI in her first plate appearance, stays in at catcher. Catching the new pitcher, Isabella Smith. Kaylee Pond has been really good in this regional. Tore an ACL a couple of years ago, wasn't able to play the entire season. She's actually had 3 ACL injuries in her life, but you'd never know it by her demeanor. Popped up right side. Bayani still in the game, making the catch. One away. You know, that's what makes great people great. It's never perfect. And we talked to Patty Gasso there. I mean, she's still refining, still looking for ways for not just her key players, her starting 9 and her ace pitcher to get better, but every little part of the team, the entire roster. And that's why she was picked to lead Team USA. She's going to lead the team for the next 4 years leading up to the Olympics in 28.
And that's one of her big things, is just leveling up the expectation of wearing USA across your chest. And, you know, the last couple of Olympics, you've lost the gold medal to Japan, and they've been the powerhouse. And so just building that expectation, building up the preparation for Team USA athletes. They don't get to practice together all the time, and so she's trying to instill these new standards and trying to build back the USA team. So I think she's the perfect person for the job.
She is. You got to believe, since it's going to be in Oklahoma City, venue, you know, just up the road there where the Women's College World Series is held, the fans are going to turn out.
I mean, they show out for Patty, for Coach Gasso, and so just being able to leverage that and bringing in the local community and building up the hype for the Olympics, it's a big deal playing on that stage, playing on that platform.
It's just 27 miles from Norman. Sam Landry going to get win number 85 in her career if Oklahoma can get 5 more outs. Now Chelsea Spencer's back in the third base coach's box.
Trying to
talking to Quiroga.
Just trying to get her to calm down. And just one pitch at a time. You feel like you have this huge deficit, but right now it's just about playing pitch to pitch, still competing.
Smith misses off the plate. It's 2-2 to Longy Quiroga. Hit her 12th home run of the year last night against Omaha. Chelsea Spencer absolutely loves this player. Just a sophomore. And trying to dump it down the right field line. It lands just foul. Racing over there was Barker. Let's go back to last night against Omaha.
And this has had to feel so good for Quiroga. We saw her just being challenged in the earlier games and just allowing her team to walk out there. We weren't sure at the moment if she knew it went out, but I think she just felt good. Getting that confidence coming into the day.
Hits it a mile high. Left field this time. Pickering stays with it, makes the catch. Boy, Oklahoma, you can tell they have so much confidence right now. So 2 outs and a pinch hitter here for Cal. And this is Kaylee Counts. Garden Grove, California. No homers, 8 runs batted in 41 at-bats this season for Counts. Hitting under 200. Here comes Pickering, makes the catch on the run. And Cal is done in the 4th inning. We head to the 5th. All Sooners, the 4-time defending champs. And there have been a lot of great players this weekend for Oklahoma, but Pickering stands head and shoulders above everybody. Here's Sydney Barker leading it off. As there's a new pitcher in for Cal, it's Kiki Mashoud. Pitcher number 5. We have seen Denab a couple of times, and now Mashoud getting a chance, a freshman out of Northridge, California. Just her 4th appearance of the year.
Just a different look. She's got curve, change. She'll go down with the drop as well.
Sydney Barker, Gabby Garcia, and Nellie McEnroe-Marinas are the scheduled hitters. We'll see if Patty Gasso decides to use some pinch hitters again. She had 6 in a row come to the plate during that 8-run 4th inning. A win for Oklahoma, and they are on to the Super Regionals. There's a strikeout. Yep.
And that's that changeup, the first strikeout for Mashoud, and just mixing up speeds.
Garcia, a home run and a single. Last time up, she was pinch hit for in this spot by Tia Malloy. One of the 8 freshmen on the roster, and someone who has adapted very well to big-time Division I softball. Gabby Garcia out of Chandler, Arizona. Four runs in the second, 8 in the 4th inning for Oklahoma. When they come in bunches for the Sooners.
And Mashoud working through the count, getting ahead, going with the change and the screw.
1-2 to Garcia. Oklahoma looking for a 5th straight regional sweep. They've gone 3-0 every year in the regionals since 2021. And of course, since 2021, they have won the national championship every year. So the Sooners look to be following their current trend.
But just as of late, the Sooners have been playing their best ball, and Coach Gasso talked about how early in the season, just the schedule that she tried to build. First half of the season, they spent a lot of time in California, so she was just trying to duplicate toughness of what the SEC was, and had a lot of tough games, but they were able to pull it out.
Talked about Oklahoma first year in the SEC. They lost 3 series in the league. Here to Tennessee, which was kind of a surprise, at Alabama and at Florida. And that's why I think in large part Texas A&M got the #1 national seed, because they were never able to duke it out in the SEC tournament because of weather. So the Tuscaloosa regional is the one that matches up with this regional, and the winner there will play the winner here in the Supers. And right now, Alabama and Virginia Tech are in a weather delay. Alabama in the driver's seat. They have won 2 games. Virginia Tech had to come through the losers bracket yesterday to get into the regional final, but you know, they're dealing with what we dealt with yesterday here in Norman. That is hammered. What a pick by Tiana Bell. That was destined for the right field corner. But Bell just snatched a hit away from Gabby Garcia.
And snatches it and makes it look easy. I mean, this is a shot. And just an Olay. And remember, she came in as a third baseman, so just her nature to be on that hot corner over at first makes it look easy for out number 2.
She had a big-time scoop on Friday in the win over Omaha. Saved a run or two. Ellie McEnroe-Marinas 1 for 2 and her single back in that 4-run second inning. So looking ahead to Cal's 5th, and they're going to have to score a bunch to stay in this game. They want to play 7. They don't want to get 8 run again. It'll be 8, 9, and 1. Phillips, Marshall, and Butler are the scheduled hitters. And so far today, they have received just 1 hit from those spots. But you know, Chelsea Spencer, she's a fighter. Her team is a fighting team. They're not going to go down quietly. There's a strike. So it's 3-1.
And just competing to the end. And that's what Coach Spencer even said after yesterday, after the loss to Oklahoma, is like, hey, we still got to fight. We still got to take care of the things that we need to take care of. We're still building and developing, and so we're taking this as a huge opportunity to be here.
Hit number 14 for Oklahoma. Nellie McEnroe-Marinas, her second hit of the game. And Sydney Sanders get another chance to hit in her senior year. 0 for 1 today with a walk. 55 career home runs for Sanders. And she looks at an off-speed strike from Michoud.
Michoud has that changeup going. Able to locate it.
Oklahoma with 14 hits today. In their 2 games combined prior to this one, 14 hits. And those were run rule wins. So today, just an absolute onslaught. I think Cal also, we talked about the fatigue factor. I think the games yesterday, the long games, the long day, the weather delays a factor. Kind of catching up a little bit with the Bears. It's been a tough weekend for them. They had to come through the losers bracket after losing to Oklahoma yesterday. And that's lined into the shortstop's glove. Sanders is out. Inning is over. Last chance for Cal. They're down 11. Phillips will lead it off in the 5th. Number 2 national seed Oklahoma, 4 runs in the second, 8 in the 4th, and now Cal with its season on the brink, needing 4 runs to avoid being run ruled here for the second straight day by the Sooners. You can see Oklahoma outscoring opponents in the regional 31-3, and all smiles on Patty Gasso's face and Sam Landry's face. She's going to get her 3rd straight win. There's Cassidy Pickering, who has been a wrecking ball in this regional with her big bat.
They've just been unstoppable, and they just have so much talent on all sides of the ball. Pitching, defense, hitting. They've got speed. They've got the power. I mean, just thinking about the little game part that Agbayani was able to do, laying down bunts. And so it's just not all power and home runs, but just all facets of the game.
Peyton Monticelli, a junior out of Cedarburg, Wisconsin, 2-0 on the year. Pitched against Arkansas. last weekend in the SEC tournament comeback victory. Tall junior, and she can throw pretty hard. She's getting an opportunity here to put this game away. It'll be Mia Phillips, Nyland Marshall, Elon Butler to hit, barring any pinch hitters for Cal.
Just tough for the Cal Bears, trying to face off with Monticelli, and she's getting behind, but she's got that high velo, like you mentioned, throws upper 60s.
There's strike at the knees. First strike for Monticelli. Mia Phillips has one of the 2 hits for Cal today. Just 2 hits. And now it's 3-2. It looks like Chelsea Spencer will indeed use a pinch hitter in the number 9 spot. Holly Medina is swinging a bat in the on-deck circle. 3-2. Took something off, popped up. Center fielder. Core. There. 1 down. Holly Medina, left-handed bat, a sophomore, has been in the lineup quite a bit this year, had been the regular DP since early March when Alyssa Herrera went down with a hand injury. Herrera is back now, and she's been the DP the last few days. But Medina, good slapper, and a pinch hit single on Friday.
Yeah, scrappy hitter that Coach Spencer likes to bring in, especially in the bottom of the lineup, to try to help turn it over to get to the top. It's got a lot of speed.
Cal just needs base runners. They have to score 4 to keep this from being a 5-inning affair again. Hard not to be disappointed if you're Chelsea Spencer, but it was a long, grueling day yesterday, and they battled and got that big win against Omaha.
Last night was tough. I mean, it was tough for everyone involved, and we were here until after 11 p.m.
Right into the glove of Garcia at short. They had to stretch for it a bit. 2 down, and now Cal down to their last out. And one of their best hitters at the plate, Elon Butler. Four straight national titles for the Sooners. They said it couldn't be done. 5 seems an unreachable feat too, but the way that Oklahoma is playing right now, all the weapons they have, don't think it can't be done. What do you know?
Getting hot at the right time, and it seems like everything is starting to work together. Their pitching staff and Coach Gasso having the ability to get all of her pitchers some looks, so giving them the opportunity.
Strike. The first national championship for Oklahoma came in 2000. Over the last 25 years, quarter century, they've won it 8 times. And for these Sooner fans who are on their feet now looking for one more strike, one last out, it never gets old. Ground ball. One hurdle down on the quest for 5 in a row. Patty Gasso and the Oklahoma Sooners for the 15th straight year going to the Super Regionals, the 18th time overall. And sometimes Oklahoma City, even though it is just 27 miles up the road, can feel like a long way away. Well, they're one weekend closer now.
And doing it in dominant fashion, just so dominant over the weekend with being able to take care of the game on all sides of the ball. The pitching staff